Why you bring Michelle Obama's podcast on YouTube? Why, Johnson? Why they do that? Why you? I feel like I just spent money to see Ashley Lurie do comedy. Why you? I feel like I just watched the Red Grant special. Why you do this? So Michelle Obama started a podcast and everybody's excited about it. And look, the only problem I have is I can hear.
A lot of people have questions they want to know, especially when they see somebody of note with a platform who, by every measure looks successful. The first question is how? I think this podcast, first and foremost, gives us an opportunity to hear from folks. We're going to be taking questions from listeners who are going through some things and just need a little advice. They want to hear from people in conversations, and folks are looking for a place where they can they can hear stories. I mean, what I realize is like by sharing some of these stories, it always taps into something from somebody else. People, they want to hear some honest kind of conversation about how people are working it through. And we don't have all the answers, I mean, this show isn't about us being experts at anything.
Yeah, no, it's not about you being experts at anything. It's also not about anything. Folks, I listened to a portion of the first episode, and for the life of me, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking, Michelle, and your brother. Can somebody say, what's the word for super uninteresting? I'm just saying. What's a good word for super uninteresting? That would be her brother. And listening to their stories, folks, this ain't it. This is not the hotness, okay?
Than the lives that we've lived. But what we do have are a lot of opinions.
Hence the name.
In my opinion, IMO. This episode...
they work really hard to work that part in. You know what I'm saying? Try to make that sound organic. We got a lot of opinions. Hence the name, in my opinion, IMO. Yeah. Yeah. I'm supporting Black people. And speaking of that, hence Tim Black. Talk about Black stuff, and I'm Black, and I got on a black hat, and look at that, a black blazer. Look at me. You got any crackers to go with all this cheese? Can I get a little wine with that? Folks, what I'm trying to tell you is that this podcast is doomed. Doomed. You have about 3 people going to listen to this podcast, and all of them are related to Michelle or work for her. Man.
Is brought to you by Rivian and Pine Sol.
Well, I'm Craig Robinson, and you all know my sister, Michelle Obama, and we're doing this podcast together, and it's really exciting to be working with you on this project.
Some people react like, you're doing a podcast with your brother?
Why would you do that?
I know, really. But our dynamic is so, in my view, unique. I think there are plenty of siblings who have great relationships, but, I think when we think back to where that came from, I think about just the physical closeness that we had. I mean, we weren't wealthy.
Right.
And Dad was working class. We lived in the same apartment our whole lives and had to...
Oh, now we got to listen to the Kamala Harris speech. Jesus Christ. She's got a podcast about herself, Johnson. Her podcast is about her and her brother and how interesting their lives were. Sometimes I think people that are successful they have a lack of EQ, you know? Maybe smart people, you know? Michelle's no fool. She's got, you know, law degree and smart lady and somehow stayed out of scandals for long, you know, for entire, you know, long time and stuff, but no calibration on where people are. You know, there are gonna be people that listen to this podcast who are Democrats, who you know, I guess maybe if they want to try to get a job somehow and they want to be able to name job, I don't even know why would anybody, you know what? I don't even think Democrats are going to listen because she's not even talking about anything Democrat related. She's not talking about politics. This first episode, you would think it'd be a good idea to come out the gate strong, punch them in the mouth, knock people on their heels, be riveting. Like this had potential, but it had to have a totally different concept. Michelle would have to be like, oh, y'all think y'all know me, huh? Y'all think y'all know how I roll. You think you know how I tick? Wait till you hear this. Pull up a chair. Let me tell you what I really think. Dun, 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 dun. See, that would get you. Not this shit. Well, me and my brother grew up in a small home. And you remember that time we shared a bed? Yeah, I remember that. Remember the grilled cheese sandwiches? Yeah, remember the grilled cheese sandwiches? Yeah, no. I like grilled. I like mozzarella, but I hate mozzarella. But I like cheddar too. But I like a mixture of cheeses. And I like to grate my own cheese. You grate your own cheese? Nah, you didn't grate your own cheese when we was kids. We had the other type of cheese. What kind of cheese? Remember Daddy gave us that cheese he got from the church. What you mean? Oh, that big block of cheese? Yeah, that big block of cheese. That's the welfare cheese, but it was good. It took forever to melt. Daddy had to get a blowtorch to melt the cheese. Remember that? Oh, that was hilarious. Their stories aren't even that interesting. That would have been a better story than what they talked about in this podcast so far.
Grow into that. And as a result, you and me, we were physically close growing up.
Remember when we used to share a bedroom?
Of course. That was our life growing up. We shared the same room until you went to high school, right?
That's right.
Well, let's first just recall how small the apartment we lived in. You know, it seemed like it was huge, but it was essentially.
This is where they make themselves relatable to all the poor people out there. Remember that time? Remember when we only had a little bit of money? I mean, it was a long time ago because I'm rolling in that shit now. But I mean, remember back in the day when we didn't have much, Dad had to go to work and he'd come home and beat the shit out of Mom. Remember that? Yeah. I mean, we're rich as hell now. We can do whatever we want, go do it. You know. But back then, like in 1982, remember 1982?
2 bedrooms, right?
No, it was 1 bedroom.
Well, that little offshoot bedroom that Mom and Dad stayed in, you would consider that a bedroom.
But that was the only bedroom. The room we were in was actually the living room.
They so old, they don't even remember what their house was built like. That's how old you are. Maybe we should be telling up-to-date stories. How about talking about shit that happened while you were First Lady of the United States of America? Because that's the only reason why people know who the hell you are. No one knows you. No one cares. If you didn't marry Barack, Michelle, wouldn't nobody care a damn about who you are or what you talking about. Coming up here with your Oprah Winfrey starter kid like somebody care. Don't nobody care about this podcast? And who's this Mr. Clean looking mofo sitting over here? Who is this old rock looking Charles S. Dutton looking mother? Who is this guy? Mixed between Charles S. Dutton and that guy from 7-Up. Marvelous. 7-Up Sprite, one of those. Who's this dude? You know, no one cares. Talk about stuff that we care about. At least you could do. Talk about that time, Barack came home and smelled like, what's the name? Rosie O'Donnell or whoever that was. Forget who it was. Jessica Biel, I don't know who it was. All the white women looking at your black husband. Come on now. You got to give sisters some stuff. Why would you think they want Oprah 2.0 out of you? Nah, they don't want Oprah 2.0 out of you. They want the dirt out of you. Do you realize there's a post of what's interesting to people? They're not interested in this. How much money can Obama screw up? They had a contract with Netflix. You know, for other podcasts, what up, Spotify? What happens in Spotify podcasts? You and Meghan Markle all need to stop talking. Folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you something. There are a lot of celebrity types that think that they can do what I'm doing. They can't. They think just because they got a big name that people are going to find them interesting. They aren't. Because once they start talking for a while, it'll be a whole lot of stuff they're scared to say. They don't want to go there. They got reputations. You know how boring it is to hear somebody hold back for 45 to 95 minutes of them holding back on telling you anything interesting on purpose? That's some lame stuff. Nobody interested in Michelle Obama. Yeah, you know, this real talk, ladies. Black women, you like her because she married Barack. But you know how many black women are lawyers? Now, in the grand scheme of things, there aren't a lot of black women lawyers. Black women represent about 2% of female lawyers, okay? I'm being honest with you here. But here's the deal. That's still a lot. I'd rather hear what, what's that black lawyer had the show? Judge Ratchet, what's her name? Crockett? Not her. It's somebody, I forget her name, but she was interested. The mean one with the glasses. You know? Why can't Michelle start off slow with something like a TikTok? Just fill the market out a little bit. This is ridiculous, folks. This is what you do when you're in a bubble and you start thinking your farts smell good. You know? No one told Michelle, he who goes to bed with an itchy ass wakes up with a stinky finger. No one told her. Hey, look, listen, Michelle, you know what I'm saying? I used to live down the block from you when you was poor. Remember me? I'm gonna keep it real with your sister. You know, no disrespect, but this is a bad idea because all the things that people want to hear you talk about, you ain't gonna talk about. And they're just gonna be sitting here waiting for you to talk about it, and you ain't gonna talk about it. And they're gonna roast your ass. And that's what's gonna happen. That's what's happening right now. They need to turn them comments off, Johnson. They got somebody to go in there every 20 minutes and delete all the negative comments. I'm serious, Johnson. There should be a zillion comments in there roasting her ass right now. And the only reason why there aren't a zillion comments in there roasting her, because they're paying somebody right now to do like this. Click, 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 delete, 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 like Little Richard up there, hitting the delete keys, working the keyboard and the mouse at the same time, turning it around, knocking out all the spam, all the negative comments. You know, come on, man. You should just go on The View sometimes. You know what I'm saying? This is sad. Folks, let me know if I'm wrong or right. But I know I'm right because I can smell, like when someone is talented, I'll admit it. Like I talked about their brother Waters in the beginning of the show. Waters is talent. Not Jesse Waters. Reese Waters. He's talented. He's a black dude. Not Jesse Waters. Hope you didn't think I was talking about Jesse Waters. I'm talking about Reese Waters. Damn, I should have said that in the beginning. I know some of y'all thought he talking about Jesse Waters. Nah, that's Charlemagne likes him. Charlemagne wouldn't big up a brother. He was big up Jesse Waters. You know, because that's the kind of brother he is. Check this out. This right here is not the look. This is not a lick. And I'm sure that everyone else has told you, or I'm sure others who are being honest, who are not on the payroll for the Democratic Party, who are willing to be honest to their audience. And that's what's so bad. The Democrats are so powerful and they have people's careers in their hand that people who have an audience, they'll risk alienating their audience and lying to their audience to defend hot mess. And that's what this podcast is. And if it was good, I tell you, if somebody's talented, I don't have to agree with them. We ain't got to be friends. Talent is talent. Right? And I would admit it. You know, if it was good, I'd say, wow, it's a good podcast, man. It's not. It's just not. And she's shown no signs of how it could be. Because if the one thing you are known for, you don't want to talk about, why do you have podcasts? She thinks she's famous because her name is Shell. She thinks people want her around or that people talk about her or she's popular because of her. Somebody sent her ass a memo. Okay? Send her a memo and let her know. You know, you aren't Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce, that's two people that were successful away from each other. You know what I'm saying? You are not Beyonce. Beyonce created a lane. She was an icon before she got with Jay-Z. You know, Destiny's Child was the bomb. You were just some black woman living in Chicago, sharing a room with your funny-looking brother. That's all you were. That's it. Nobody knew you. You know, so man, look, I don't mean no harm, man, but I mean some truth. I'm meaningful. I'm telling you the truth. You know, there was another sister. What was her sister's name? She was a Democratic staple. That was Rosario Dawson. That her name? She started a podcast back when I was, person that the Democrats or the person that progressives would talk to. I was one of those people. And when I saw some podcast, I was like, look at her trying to start a podcast. She would never come on my show. I was like, damn, she gonna do her own thing. Let's see how long this lasts. That shit lasted like 2 episodes, 3 episodes. Because it's very humiliating to be a Hollywood actress and to be really big in like political spaces and then can't code an audience. So I saw bringing people on, trying to make it be more people on the show. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's very humbling. Very humbling. Because at the end of the day, it's about what comes out of here. Is it engaging? Is it interesting? Do you have any stories? Hell, you can't even, Michelle Obama she won't even go down the list of hot topics of what's going on in the world. I mean, come on, Johnson. Now, you are not Oprah. You are not Beyonce. You are a lawyer who never talks about any concrete issues unless you're shitting on Trump. And that ain't gonna work. So, it is what it is. I like to see the feedback just to laugh at people trying to deny reality.
And the living room what we called the living room was actually the dining room.
Huh. Okay. All right. So that's how small it was.
That's how small
I would get up and walk out, but I got to do my show. You know what I'm saying? I felt an urge to get up out my seat and walk my black ass off my own set. That's how bad this is. Now, if you know what I'm saying? That's how not good this is. This is like listening to 2 hours of the comedian Shang. That's what this is. It's like listening to Pierre. The comedian Pierre, it's like listening to him and Shang back to back on the same comedy album. Come on, man. Come on, Johnson.
To turn it into something else. But
look, I don't mean no harm, man. Don't tell me this is hate, Tim Black. How dare you hate on Michelle Obama? How dare you? Now, how dare you lie to yourself? And how dare you expect me to lie to my audience to save someone's feelings who I don't know, who I don't owe a damn thing to? In fact, I got a bone to pick with her. This is the same woman who sat there watching Obama tell black people put their pants up. Put your pants up. Put your pants up, Pookie. She the same one sat there with her husband saying, oh, come on now. I'm the president of America. I ain't the president of Black America. Come on now, get together. Stop asking for shit. Damn, these Negroes are shiftless. Always asking for something. Jesus, come on now. Yeah. She sat right there. She ain't break ranks. She ain't talk to him. She ain't withhold nothing. She ain't refused to cook his collard greens the right way. She went right along with it. So unless you're gonna come out and tell us some tell-all stuff, man, just get this off our show. Come on. Cause this is a disappointment. That's what it is, John. That's what it is. Come on now. Yeah. It takes it takes honesty. And that's what she's, when you rich like that and you're powerful like Michelle Obama is, then people don't want to tell you the truth. No one's gonna tell her what I just told her. I'm right. Okay? I'm right. And unfortunately, honesty is not a strong suit of the people that are around Michelle Obama. Or this never would have happened. And the roasting that she will receive, and the fact that all the people that be kissing her ass are like, God, I'm about to kiss her ass some more. I'm about to pretend this is good. God damn. I'm gonna have to review this and pretend it was a good job, like wow, and big it up and say it has potential. And I can't wait to hear her boring ass stories about all the things she learned in life. What'd you do except pop out some kids out your uterus and somehow pick the guy that the CIA or the Wall Street wanted to back? What'd you do? What'd you do? Shit. You got no Grammys. All right, guys, let's move it on. Let's keep it moving on because I stay here all night. We could do an hour-long video just on this. And, it's just shameful. All right. You know the deal. Independent Black media stays unapologetic, raw, and real. Now you can wear the movement. From the 10 Black Wolf Pack to the Cornbread Collection. We got gear for the real ones. For men, women, even the little ones. No weak threads, no weak messages. Rep the truth. Rep the movement. Hit up 10blackpauls.com and grab yours today. Because cornbread ain't free. Wolfpack. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.